What's up, EV Clan? Alex Espion here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Pokemon Gold Randomizer Nuzlocke. In the last episode, we fought Chuck, I think is the name of the gym leader, who we fought last. It's like the fighting type gym leader in this game. And, in this episode we are going to be challenging Jasmine, because if you know this game, you know that Jasmine comes right after Chuck, usually. She does, I don't know why I said usually, that's like just a fact. But, anyway. Here we go, into the gym, and let's see what this guy has to say. Jasmine, the gym leader, is at the lighthouse. She's been tending to a sick Pokemon. A strong trainer has to be compassionate. Okay. Right, sorry, I forgot about that. Before we do challenge the gym, we have to actually give her the medicine that we went to Cianwood for, which is the town that Chuck is in. That's why we were there in the first place. Obviously, while we were there, we challenged the gym because there was a gym there, but the reason why we went to that island, that town on an island in the first place, was in order to get the medicine for Jasmine's sick Ampharos, which she was tending to at the top of this lighthouse. So let's go up there real quick and give her the medicine that she needs, and then she should come back to the gym and we can fight her. But while we're doing that, I was just thinking about it. I think it's really weird that like Pom Pom was playable in Super Mario Party. I think that Super Mario Party was like the first Mario Party game where they were really trying to have like a big roster, and so I guess it makes sense that in a way that there were like some characters that were like, huh, that's interesting that they put that in. But like, even then, I feel like Pom Pom was a really odd choice. Like, even if they wanted to fill out a roster, I think that like it would have made sense to fill out a roster with more common enemies that people would like would have like a higher chance of recognizing. Like, I feel like Pom Pom is not nearly as recognizable as just like Goomba or Koopa, and I think like maybe those were in the game, maybe those weren't, I don't quite remember. But I feel like there were a lot of like more common enemies that they missed, and they did like, I think Goomba was in the game. I'm fairly sure Koopa was too, but it's been a while since I played Super Mario Party, so I don't really remember all that well. But yeah, I'm fairly sure Goomba was, and actually I'm very sure Goomba was, because I remember like the weird the funny animation of him like hitting the block with his head. I don't know if it was that game, but I'm fairly sure it was that game. I know that Goomba I know for a fact Goomba was at least in a playable character in one Mario Party game, and I'm fairly sure, like 90% sure, that it was Super Mario Party, because as I said, that's the one where they were trying to like really bolster the roster. And like Mario Party games before that one did have like random enemies as playable characters, but it wasn't like they were trying to fill out the roster then. It was just like, oh, let's just put in a random enemy as a character, you know, for shits and giggles. But like in Super Mario Party, like they actually had a reason behind it. They were trying to like fill out the roster, give you like a really diverse roster, a lot of characters to play as, for like the first time in Mario Party, I think. Will that medicine cure Amphy? Yes. Alex handed the secret potion to Jasmine. Please don't be offended. Amphy will not take anything from anyone but me. Oh, okay, understood. I get it. It's the trust between a trainer and Pokemon. I understand. Amphy, how are you feeling? Amphy? Amphy, you feeling good? Hello! Okay, sounds like Amphy's feeling good. I mean, I don't speak Pokemon, but those sound like happy noises. Oh, I'm so relieved. This is just so wonderful. Thank you so very, very much. I will return to the gym. Anything for the gym leader in Johto with the coolest aesthetic. Cutest aesthetic. Anything for you, Jasmine. Love the whole presentation you got going on in terms of your clothing and like your hair. Just love the design. I love Jasmine's design. I don't know if it's obvious yet, but so I'm gonna say it now. I love Jasmine's design. I'm just gonna say it, like flat out say it. I love it. It's great. Great gym leader design. She just looks so cool. She just looks so cool and cutie, and I like it. Like it a lot. Anyway, yeah, I feel like it's weird that Pom Pom is a playable character in Super Mario Party, and it's made especially weird by the fact that I don't think Boom Boom is, because Boom Boom was obviously like Pom Pom before Pom Pom, you know, like Boom Boom and Pom Pom are like the classic pair, but like Boom Boom existed way before her, so you'd think if one of them was going to get added to Mario Party as a playable character, first of all, you wouldn't think either one would, but if you thought that one of them was going to get added, I feel like you would think it would be Boom Boom. But no, it was Pom Pom first, I guess. And maybe they will add Bomb Bomb, maybe they will add Boom Boom as a playable character in Mario Party in the future, But for now, I think it is just Pom Pom. I think Pom Pom was in Super Mario Party, and Boom Boom wasn't. And obviously, in future versions, future Mario Parties, neither of them were, because the fact that either of them is in a Mario Party game as a playable character is kind of weird. But obviously, it's especially weird that they chose Pom Pom and not Boom Boom out of the two of them, in my opinion. Jasmine uses the newly discovered Steel type. I don't know very much about it. Oh, he just straight up can't tell you anything helpful. Usually they, like, tell you at the beginning of these gyms, like, oh, they use this type, that type is weak to this, and this guy just says, man, I don't know, it's new. But, yeah, in case you didn't see in the grinding montage that I hopefully put at the beginning of this episode, Nina is now at a pretty decent level. Thank you for your help at the lighthouse. But this is different. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Jasmine, a gym leader. I use the Steel type. Do you know about the Steel type? It's a type that was only recently discovered. May I begin? Of course. But, yeah, I grinded up Nina, finally. They've been sitting in the back of the party at level 5 for ages. Like, if you go back and look at how many... We're fighting Author Chloe, by the way. Not Jasmine, sorry, Author Chloe. My mistake, Chloe. Sorry, I love your aesthetic. Still love your aesthetic, can't remember your name. My bad. Yeah, apparently her name's Chloe, guys. But, anyway, yeah. I grinded up Nina from level 5, which is what she's been sitting at in the back of the party for, like, half series at this point, honestly. Like, if you go back in the episodes, she's been just sitting in the back of the party for a very long time. And just not being used at all, but in the back of the party, just sitting there, because we had nothing better, really, to replace. We didn't really have, like, more than 6 Pokemon. So I just kind of, like, kept them back there, even though I didn't plan on training them up anytime soon. And now we finally got to a point where I had some time in between episodes to train them, so now I have done that, and Nina is now a decent level. They are now level 31, which is not necessarily caught up with the rest of the team, but it is certainly much better than level 5, which is what they were before, for a very long time. And they have Fly, actually, which is how I got back to what is this city? Olivine? From Cianwood so quickly. If you saw in the beginning of the grinding montage, I actually got Fly, because I forgot to get it at the end of the last episode, so I had to get it off camera. But, like, technically it was on camera, I guess, because I recorded it as part of the grinding montage, so you will see it. As long as I put that grinding montage in, and I kept it in. But yeah, I did, out of episode, have to get Fly, because I forgot to get it at the end of the last episode, and I was like, well, I've already done everything else in Cianwood, so I guess I should just, like, be at Olivine by the start of the next episode, because I should go to Olivine to train my Pokemon, because, like, I thought that the grass right outside Olivine would be good for training, and Entei is coming in. That is not necessarily terrible. Nina's already out. I can't check summary of Nina. I don't know if they have a ground-type move. That would be great against Entei, but I don't know if they do have one, so I guess I'm just gonna switch in Geraldine. That sounds like a safe option. Assuming I remember what Pokemon's names are, I think that's the Slowking. That should be the Slowking. You think with how many times I put them and their names on the layout, I would know what their names are by now. I would be able to correlate the names of the Pokemon. But I guess I'm still struggling because I thought the Geraldine was Slowking, but I was unsure. I shouldn't be unsure. I should just know. It should be instantaneous. Geraldine is the Slowking. I was clicking on it, and I was highly confident in it, but I still wasn't sure. I should be sure. By this point, I should be sure, especially because most of the Pokemon I have here, if not all of them, on this team, I have had for a very long time at this point. Knock on that wood. Don't want to lose anybody. Also, knock on that wood again, because that in and of itself is another statement that probably requires me to knock on wood after saying it. But, yeah, Entei is a little bit worrying because it's a legendary Pokemon, but considering, the fact that we have this water type here, actually it's not that concerning, like, at all. I thought that it would be, like, a little bit of trouble, even though we had a Pokemon that was super effective against it, but, like, Geraldine was lower level, and it still only did 7 damage to us before dying. Like, that Entei went down so easily. I was not expecting that. It was a legendary, and higher level than us, and it even still could not even get our water type here down to, like, a quarter of its health before we killed it. You are a better trainer than me. In both skill and kindness, but not in fashion sense. Unfortunately, I will never be as dripped out as you, Jasmine, but that's fine, because I am the better trainer. In accordance with League rules, I confer upon you this badge. Thank you, Jasmine. Now let's just see the mineral badge. I feel like... Is steel a mineral? Mineral badge raises Pokemon's defense. I don't even know what a mineral is. Like, if you asked me to find a mineral, I'd be like, something to do with rock? Like, I don't know. Please take this too. And, like, if you would ask me, is the mineral badge a rock badge or a steel badge? I'd say rock badge. Like, I would not think of steel as a mineral. Maybe it is. But I did not think that steel was a mineral. I would say that, like, diamond is a mineral. Maybe that's completely wrong. Maybe that's just a gemstone, and gemstones aren't minerals. I don't know. I don't really know what a mineral is. I just know it has something to do with rocks, but I don't know actually what the definition of a mineral is. That teaches Fire Punch. Oh, okay, thank you. Anyone I could teach Fire Punch to that it would actually be useful on? I mean, do we have any fire types on this team? We still need to train up Shucky. Oh gosh, okay. My game was glitching out for a second. I don't know what was happening there, but, we still need to train up Shucky because, I replaced someone in between episodes. I don't remember who it was, but I replaced someone. Maybe it wasn't, no, it wasn't in between episodes. It was at the end of the last episode. So I recorded the last episode a while ago, so I don't really remember. But I know I replaced someone with Shucky, and that's why I felt I needed to train up Nina, like, right at this moment, before this gem, is because having one Pokemon in the back of the team not doing anything because they're low level is one thing. Having two Pokemon at the back of the team not doing anything because they're low level is an entirely different thing. Like, that cannot be tolerated. So we needed to train up Nina so we could have a different Pokemon at the back of the team, being low level and not able to do anything. But, oh, now I remember. I got rid of, Kenya, because I didn't feel like keeping that thing on the team any longer. It wasn't really doing anything, like, at all. So I got rid of it. And I thought I was gonna be, like, giving it to someone, because obviously it was, like, holding a letter. I was planning on, like, keeping it in the party, not really using it, but keeping it in the party until, like, I needed to return it to whoever owned it, so that, that way, where do I go in this game, at this point? I don't know. I'm just gonna, like, walk up here, see if I interact with someone, see if I, like, come across, like, a cutscene or anything. If I walk up here, what if I walk down this way? Then does someone interact with me and say, like, you need to go over here? I'm expecting, like, my rival to come in at any moment and be like, I'm going to this town, you should follow me! Or, don't follow me, because I hate you! Something like that. Yeah, it doesn't seem like anything is coming in suddenly to tell me where I need to go. So, I'm just gonna say I probably just need to go to a town I haven't been to before. So let's go to a town that I haven't been to before. Let's go to, wherever Price is. What town is that? It's like up here somewhere. It's, Ekrutik is over here. Let's go to Ekrutik. And then let's see if we can go to the right from there, because I don't know if I've been to the town to the right of this one. But yeah, I just was gonna keep Kenya on the team, not use it, but like just keep it there until I had to return it. And it was taking a while to find whoever I was gonna return it to. I couldn't find who I was supposed to return it to. To give it to. At this point, I don't even know if I'm supposed to give it to someone, because like I've been waiting to give it to someone with that letter, because obviously it's Pokemon carrying a letter, and the whole reason why you get it is because like it's a traded Pokemon, and someone trades it to you in order for you to deliver the letter that's on it by delivering the Pokemon to someone. So you just like give someone Kenya, and then they get the letter attached to it with Kenya, right? So then that's what you're supposed to do with Kenya. It's just a Pokemon that you get given, you have for a while, and then you, it's a gift Pokemon, not really a trade Pokemon. I think I said you trade someone for it earlier. I meant they give it to you. So it's a gift Pokemon, and then, like, you don't keep it. It's not like a gift Pokemon you keep. So a few gift Pokemon where you're actually, like, not supposed to keep it, I think. You're supposed to give it to someone, but I couldn't find anyone to give it to. I couldn't find the person that I'm supposed to, like, be delivering the letter on it to by delivering that person the Pokemon. So I don't know if I'm actually supposed to, at this point, give anyone Kenya, because I thought you did have to do that, and that makes sense that you would have to do that, because it's a Pokemon holding a letter, and they're like, please deliver this letter, when they give you the Pokemon. But, I just couldn't find anyone to deliver that letter to, and I've been around, like, half the region since I got Kenya, and even more, of the region since even more of the region before I got Kenya, right? So, like, I, by now, probably should have found, who to deliver Kenya to, if I was supposed to deliver Kenya to someone, but I haven't found anyone to deliver Kenya to, so I'm starting to think that maybe, it's just illogical, and I'm not supposed to deliver Kenya, even though all signs of logic are sort of pointing towards the fact that I'm supposed to deliver Kenya. Maybe I'm not. Maybe, that idea I had of, like, I need to deliver Kenya is just coming out of nowhere. Maybe I'm just, like, fabricating a memory. Maybe I'm not remembering correctly. Maybe I don't need to deliver it. Maybe I just, like, carry it around. Maybe I'm delivering, maybe the person he asked me to deliver the letter that Kenya is holding to, and therefore the person at the same time that I have been asked to deliver Kenya to, maybe that person is just, like, dead. I'm not gonna say, like, I don't know. I don't know why there wouldn't be a person to deliver the letter to, and therefore deliver Kenya to, but, I just can't find one, so I've done, like, keeping it around in my party if it's not gonna do anything, and I don't plan on training it up to the point where it's gonna do something, because frankly, I don't think it ever really will. As cool of a Pokemon as Crobat is, from what I've seen, its moveset is kinda trash in this game. And maybe it'll get better, maybe it'll get, like, really good moves at a really high level. Or maybe I've missed, all the good moves, because it gets all its good moves when it's Golbat, and then when it evolves, it doesn't get any good moves from there. Either way, it doesn't have good moves right now, and I trained it for a while, and it still was not getting any good moves. So, I mean, regardless of whether it's gonna get good moves later, or it's missed all its good moves, either way, it doesn't have good moves right now, so therefore there's no real point in using it right now, and it doesn't have good moves, and it didn't have good moves. It didn't get any good moves when I was training it, so which leads me to believe that I have to train it for quite a while before I actually start getting the good moves, assuming that it even gets any from here. But Mount Mortar is over here. Waterfall Cave inside. Okay, so I went to Mount Mortar on that side of the water, like on the other side of the water, like the left side of the water that I was just on. So I actually can't get a new encounter in that cave, even though it looks like a different cave. It's actually just like a different entrance to the same cave. So there's actually no new encounter in there, guys. I got my Mount Mortar encounter a while ago. I killed it. I did not catch it. I don't think I bought Pokeballs before encountering it. Either that, or I just like killed it by accident. One of the two. Either way, I remember I did not end up getting my Mount Mortar encounter. I encountered it, then lost it. So no Mount Mortar encounter for me, because I already relinquished my ability to get it. Let me demonstrate the power of the Pokemon I caught. But yeah, like, I will say, like, Pom-Pom is definitely the cooler out of Bomb-Bomb. Why do I keep saying Bomb-Bomb? Out of Boom Boom and Pom-Pom, Pom-Pom is definitely the cooler one. Especially, like, after she gets the Shuriken. Like, Pom-Pom isn't that cool in 3D Land, because she's just, like, a large boomerang bro, essentially, in that game. Like, she's a boss that throws a boomerang at you. She's basically a large boomerang bro. But, in later games, she gets a Shuriken, which obviously, in later games, I mean, in 3D World, she gets a Shuriken. And, that obviously makes her much cooler, and differentiates her a lot from other Koopas, because I can't think of another Koopa off the top of my head who, uses a Shuriken. I'm sure there is in some Mario game, in some spin-off game or something, like some Koopa uses a Shuriken at some point, but I don't think that's like an enemy type that's... Either it's an enemy type that's not common, or, it just doesn't exist. So, it makes it really cool that instead of her just being like a huge boomerang bro, essentially, then in 3D World she has a Shuriken instead, because that differentiates her much more. What? That's not right. Yeah, that is not right, actually. That's something I have to talk about with 3D World, is that, they gave Pom-Pom a cool new weapon, but Boom Boom is still using his fists. Like, I get that Boom Boom obviously has the ability in 3D World to turn invisible, and that's cool and all. Alex, good morning. It's me, Cammy. How are you doing? Want a battle? It's not going to be a repeat of the last time we met. I'll be around National Park. See you later. Click. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, like, I get that they gave him the power to turn invisible, and that's cool and all. However, it doesn't really affect his battle all that much, and it's still just him spinning around with his fists. And, hey! This is my secret place! Get lost, you outsider! Yeah, I mean, it's cool and all that he can, like, turn invisible, but that still doesn't, like, take away from the fact that him just spinning around with his fists is kind of boring, because a lot of things in Mario just attack you with, like, straight melee, and they don't really have weapons. I feel like the enemies that actually have weapons are super cool. Especially, like, Shuriken is such a cool weapon. Like, Shurikens conceptually are so cool. Because they're, like, star-shaped pieces of metal you throw at your opponent. Like, it's basically like, it's like a throwing knife. It's like a knife. Like, you know how people, like, throw knives? It's like a throwing knife, but even more designed for throwing, because it's, like, I don't know. I guess throwing knives are pretty designed for throwing, because they're, like, I guess, are they more aerodynamic? Because they're, like, yeah, I feel like they're more aerodynamic than Shurikens, but Shurikens are cooler, because they have, like, four blades, right? They have, like, blades on 4 sides rather than just 1. That makes them so much cooler than throwing knives, in my opinion. Just conceptually, like, they are so cool to me, because it's like a 4-sided blade that you throw through the air. Like, how sick is that? How sick is that as, like, a projectile weapon? Because you could just, like, guns are a thing, right? Like, guns, you go boom, and then, like, it just kills somebody, right? Like, you just shoot a gun, it's like bam, and then it, like, shoots a little pellet at them, right? But that's probably more effective than using a shuriken, depending on who's using it, but, like, are guns as cool as shurikens? No! Guns aren't cool. You just go boom, you pull a trigger, and then, like, boom, and then someone's dead. It's not as cool as throwing a 4-sided blade through the air as your projectile. Like, that's cooler. That's much cooler than just, like, pew, pellet, dead. Like, guns are one of those weapons where it's like, they're really effective, but are they cool? No. That's not a cool weapon. Guns aren't cool. Swords are cool. Katanas are even cooler. Shurikens are awesome. Throwing knives, if you have, like, those, like, kunai things, I think kunais are, like, the throwing knives that, like, ninjas use. Those are cool. All those weapons are really cool. All those, like, old-timey weapons that, like, samurais and ninjas use and stuff, those are really cool. You know what's not cool? Guns. You just go, pew, and then someone dies. Like, it's not, where's the interest in that? How is that interesting? How is that cool at all? You just, like, pew. In my opinion, like, swords and katanas and shurikens and kunai and all that stuff, so much cooler. But anyway, just like the sharp weapons. That's what I like. That's how I like my weapons. I like the sharp ones, not the pew pew ones. But anyway, I've just been sitting here in front of this Hypno, going in and out of my Pokemon menu for ages while I talk about cool weapons and what's not cool weapons. But now I'm gonna actually make a move, which is send out Geraldine. But anyway, yeah, I think shurikens are conceptually very cool, and not only does it suck that it sucks, first of all, that Pom Pom got this cool new weapon. Like, shurikens are so cool. She got a shuriken. That's awesome. And it sucks that Boom Boom didn't get a weapon that's as cool. But what sucks even more is the fact that he didn't get a weapon at all. They still just made him fight with his fists. And when you're like other half, right? Boom Boom and Pom Pom is the pair. When you're other half, when you are paired up with someone who is using shurikens and you just use your fist, like, that is so lame. That makes you so lame by comparison. Because they're, like, throwing shurikens. They're throwing these cool 4-sided blade things, and you're, like, 4-bladed... These cool things that are, like, swords with 4-sided blades. Like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's 4-sided blades? 4-sided blades? Is that the right... Yeah, they're throwing these, like, cool 4-sided bladed things. 4-sided bladed things, let's go with that. You're throwing these cool 4-sided bladed things, and they're just, like, sitting there going, I'm gonna hit you with my fist. It's like, come on, man. And he doesn't even do it in a cool way. It's not even, like, a cool fist-fighting thing where he's, like, in a fighting stance and stuff. He's just like, let me spin. I should have used my Moonstone. Like, Boom Boom's already kind of lame in the way it attacks people. It just, like, spins around with its fist, go like in a tornado motion with its fists. But, like, just hoping that you, like, get hit by it, and it's, like, spinning in your direction, like a freaking Beyblade, it's already, like, not that interesting. But by comparison to his, like, partner, Pom Pom, throwing, shurikens as her means of attacking, it's just, like, makes it so much more lame, because now not only is it, like, the Pokemon, now not only is the enemy just, like, using a lame means of attacking, but also their partner is using a super cool means of attacking, which makes their means of attacking seem even lamer. You're working on a Pokedex? Wow, you must know some pretty rare Pokemon. May I please see it, please? You just saw a pretty rare one, I think. What did I send out? I don't know. All my Pokemon are, like, pretty rare, I think. Ah, it's good to be outside. I feel so free, except Pidgeotto. That one's not rare. I feel like Nidoqueen's pretty rare in this region. Is Nidoqueen even in this region? Can you find the Nidoran line in the Johto region? I don't know. I haven't played Gen 2 enough to actually know the answer to that question. Obviously, you can find, I think, every Pokemon in Gen 1 and Gen 2 and Gen 2. But, I feel like Nidoran's just in Kanto. I don't believe you can get a Nidoran in Johto. You have to go to Kanto in the postgame, I think, to get a Nidoran. I may be wrong. There may be a Nidoran in this region, but I don't think there are. Anyway, here's Articuno, and we're gonna send in Geraldine, because Geraldine is a water type, and Articuno is a ice type, so therefore it's probably gonna go for an ice type move. And ice type is not very effective on us, on Geraldine. Oh, it didn't go for an ice type move. That's fine. It went for Gust. That's okay. That's not a really high damaging move, and even if it was, I don't know why I'd be worried, because this thing is level 14. Level 14 this late into the game. This game's levels are whack. But anyway. We go for the Confusion, and I think this will do about half health, I predict. Articuno is a legendary Pokemon, so it has pretty good stats all around, so I'd imagine it can be quite bulky. I feel like out of the 3 legendary birds, it probably is the bulkiest. It just strikes me as like a bulky kind of Pokemon. Bulky kind of legendary. I don't think it's like that bulky, but I think it's like bulkier than the rest of the trio. It strikes me more as a bulky Pokemon than the rest of the trio does, at least. Because I don't think the birds, right? They're birds, right? Birds aren't really the bulkiest thing you could think of. I feel like all bird Pokemon are kind of like frail because birds are kind of frail, really. Umbreon, okay, stacked team. My gosh, Articuno and Umbreon. Why did I leave in the Psychic type against an Umbreon? That was kind of stupid, but it's fine. It's only level 16. I'm not worried. But yeah, let's see what that third Pokemon is, because Articuno and Umbreon, so far this is a really cool team. Like, if I have an Articuno and an Umbreon on my team, that's awesome. Like, I'd be rubbing it into people's faces, like, look at how cool my Pokemon team is. Because, like, maybe that's not, like, the best Pokemon combination, but, like, you could have 2 better Pokemon in this game, obviously. But, like, that's so cool. Like, Umbreon is cool, Articuno is cool, it's just a cool pair. Like, both of the Pokemon in that pair of Pokemon are just cool. Like, dare I say some of the cooler Pokemon in this game. At least, like, top 5, I think. Maybe that's being, being too, I don't know. Maybe that's being too generous. I mean, Umbreon is really cool. I don't know if, Articuno can match it. I feel like Articuno is pretty cool, though. Like, obviously, since Gen 2, there have been, like, a lot of Pokemon that are introduced that are way cooler than Articuno, but I feel like Gen 2, at this point of the franchise, I feel like Articuno is a very cool Pokemon. I feel like all the legendaries up like in Gen 2 are cool. I feel like in Gen 2, like, all legendaries are considered really cool Pokemon. Can be considered really cool Pokemon even, because there aren't that many of them yet. In later generations, obviously there are, like, you get to a point where it's like, this legendary is kind of lame compared to this legendary, but, like, in Gen 2 there's so few by Gen 2 there's so few legendaries that I feel like we're not at the point where, like, one of them is cooler than the other yet. It's just kind of like, oh, we're in Gen 2, and that's an Articuno, or that's a Zapdos, or that's a Moltres, or that's an Entei, or that's a Suicune, or that's a Raikou, and they're all just cool. Like, in future generations, I would say, oh, look, Raikou, one of the lamest legendaries ever made. But since it's Gen 2, it's a legendary. Like, that's cool. There's not that many of them yet. There's not a lot to compare it to yet. So in Gen 2, Raikou's cool. In future generations, I'm like, oh gosh, Raikou. Like, if I get a legendary in Gen 2 and it's Raikou, like, that's awesome. Because, like, I can't be picky, it's a legendary. But, like, if I get a legendary and it's Raikou in, like, Gen 6, if my Azurius gets randomized into a Raikou, then I'm bummed, because that's a Raikou. It's like, oh, in future games where there's tons of legendaries to choose from, I don't want a Raikou. In Gen 2, I don't care, because there's so few legendaries, at least it's a legendary. Losing feels insignificant if you look up at the big sky. I don't know how the sky makes your loss insignificant, but, or makes it feel insignificant. I don't really know how that works, but you do you, friend. Whatever you think. It's your life. You feel the way you want to about it. Route 42. Ecruteak City to Mahogany Town. Mahogany Town. That is where I need to be heading next if I want to beat Price. And here is Mahogany Town, I think, because I see a house. Mahogany Town. Welcome to the home of the ninja. The ninja? Is Price a ninja? Or is he talking about someone else? Are we off to see the Gyarados rampage at the lake? I don't know, am I? Are we at that point in the game right now? I know there's like the red Gyarados, like the first confirmed shiny. Not confirmed shiny. The first like going to be a shiny no matter what. There's a word for that. There's like a term for it. But like basically it's an encounter that you get that's always shiny. So that's the first of those in Pokemon. There are there are ones later in the series, but obviously this one's the most iconic. You have like the Ponyta in Legends Arceus. I think there's another one somewhere. I don't really know though. It might be the Ponyta and the Gyarados are the only like it has to be shiny encounters in Pokemon. But I know that definitely this is not the only one. I know the red Gyarados is not the only one. But I think that Gyarados and Ponyta, Gyarados in Gen 2 and Ponyta in Legends Arceus might be the only two. Maybe I'm forgetting about one or two. But I'm pretty sure those are the only two Pokemon that are always shiny when you encounter them. While visiting Mahogany Town, try a Rage Candy Bar. How about no? What's this guy gotta say? The experiment worked like a charm. Magikarp are just worthless, but Gyarados are big moneymakers. Okay, that's kind of sus. Welcome, how may I help you? I don't know, what you got? Slowpoke tails, those are quite expensive. Tiny mushroom, Pokeball, potion. Wow, this is a garbage shop, and I don't know why I would ever buy anything from here. Unless Slowpoke tails is something really cool. Very tasty, sell high. Why would I buy it? But like, there's no eating mechanic in this game. Why would I buy that? It's like, what does that do for me? It's very tasty, sure, but like, my protagonist doesn't really have the ability to eat it. There's no eat button in this game. What does it being very tasty actually do for me, though? Anything? Is that just a completely useless $9,800 you can spend? Since you came this far, take the time to do some sightseeing. You should head north and check out Lake of Rage right now. Okay, so it seems like I cannot take on the gym right now. I have to go do the Lake of Rage stuff first, which makes sense. Mahogany Town, Pokemon Gym Leader, Price. The teacher of Winter's Harshness. That sounds very menacing. Too bad. I think he sucks in, like, the games and the anime. Actually, I think in the anime he was depicted as, like, pretty cool and powerful. Because, like, I feel like Cold as Price. Cold as Price was the name of the episode, and that's a badass name for an episode. Cold as Price. So I feel like he was a pretty badass guy in the anime, even though he's just kind of like an old man. But I feel like in the games he's not that menacing or good at all. He's just kind of like, kind of a pushover. But maybe in this randomized version of the game he won't be a pushover. Pokemon do become stronger when they evolve, but they also learn moves more slowly. Really? I mean, I guess I never thought of it that way, but I guess, yeah, as you level up, your moves are more spread out, like the moves you're learning. I stopped my Pokemon from evolving too early. I make them learn certain moves before I let them evolve. And yeah, now that I think about it, I feel like obviously, like, Squirtle, I think, learns Hydro Pump before Blastoise, like, before the level that Blastoise does. So I think that, yeah, once you evolve, like, evolved Pokemon are sort of, like, their moves are more spread out. And, like, so if you keep a Pokemon not evolved for a longer time, you will get the moves if you keep a Pokemon unevolved, you will get the moves before the final evolution would, because the moves are more spread out. That's sort of like the equalizer, is because you could evolve it, and it gets more powerful. But then you'll get the moves later. Or you could keep it unevolved, and it stays at the same power it is. It's still pretty weak, but you're getting the moves earlier. That's sort of like the equalizer. It's like, do I want to evolve it or no? It's like, there are pros and cons to each, I guess. That's cool. I never thought of it that way. What's this? Team Rocket has come back? I saw some men in black at the Lake of Rage. Yeah, that's something we gotta deal with, and by the sounds of it, we gotta deal with that pretty soon, because we can't fight the gym until we do that, which makes sense, obviously, as I was saying before, because Chuck and Jasmine were basically separated by, like, nothing. those gyms were like right next to each other in terms of like the progress of the progression of the game. So I'd assume there had to be something between Jasmine and Price, because if there was nothing between Chuck and Jasmine, there's got to be something. There's definitely got to be something between Jasmine and Price. If there's like there being like basically nothing to do between two gym leaders is already like crazy enough. There being nothing to do between three gym leaders is freaking crazy. There being nothing to do in terms of like progressing the story between three gym leaders is crazy. Like going from one gym to the next in that little time, as it would have been like for Chuck, Jasmine, and Price, if I did not have to do this Lake of Rage stuff right now, would be crazy. Like that would be like never before seen in Pokemon, to have those gyms so back to back to back. Chuck and Jasmine, the distance between those, like the amount of stuff you have to do between those, which is like literally nothing. You just fight Chuck, get fly, go fly back to Olivine, and there's Jasmine, right? You just give her the medicine and that's it. Gym time. Like that's literally like nothing. You have to do in between those. If you had to also do like that's already absurd. If you also didn't have to do anything between anything really besides like go through a route, like go through one route across like 2 bits of water to get to Price, and then you could just like fight the gym there. If you had to also do like that little in between Jasmine and Price, then that would just be like absolutely nuts, because that's a stretch of 3 gyms. That's like 3 gyms that you're doing basically just in a row with no like actual game really in between them. That would have been absolutely nuts. Even more nuts than just like the way you could go from Chuck right into Jasmine. I heard that a red Gyarados appeared at the lake. That's odd, since even ordinary Gyarados are rare in that lake. My favorite radio program? I'd say Pokemon Music. I didn't ask, but I guess I did, because you're saying it, so I suppose my silent protagonist asked something, somehow. Hi, Sunny Boy. I see you're new in Mahogany Town. Since you're new, you should try a yummy Rage Candy Bar. Right now, it can be yours for just $300. Want one? Okay. Good, savor it. Okay. Can I go this way now? Hi, Sunny Boy. I see you're new in Mahogany Town. Okay, well, since you're new, you should try a yummy Rage Candy Bar. I'm not new if you've already talked to me. I mean, I suppose I'm still new, but I'm not new to you, so, like, please leave me alone. Right now, it can be yours for just $300. Want one? I guess I'll take another one while I'm at it, but, now I really have to go this way. Hi, Sunny Boy. I see. Okay, I get it. I can't go this way. But while I'm talking to you, yes, I might as well buy another Rage Candy Bar. Yeah, thank you. I believe those cure all status conditions. I don't know what the heck was going on with my mouth there. Status conditions. What do you have to say, sir? Only people headed up to Lake of Rage have been through here lately. Is that because this leads right to Lake of Rage? If it did, that would be incredibly convenient, because that's where I need to go right now. But we'll see if it does. We'll see if the Game Freak wants to smile upon me with how this game progresses. Route 43. Okay, this is not Lake of Rage. Lake of Rage to Mahogany Town. Oh. Does this take me to the Lake of Rage, or is the Lake of Rage on this route? I don't think the Lake of Rage is on this route. What is this? What is this building here? Does this take me to the Lake of Rage? Is this like one of those like tunnel things we just went through that takes you to the next route? Trainer tips. All Pokemon have pros and cons, depending on their types. If their types differ, a higher level Pokemon may lose in battle. Learn which types are strong and weak against your Pokemon's type. Daniel the manager is calling me. Alex, good morning. It's me, Daniel. How are you doing? My Totodile is looking awesome. I wish I could show you. Hey, listen. I almost caught Crobat the other day. Oh, don't do it. It's not worth it, man. It's not a good Pokemon. Not in this game, at least. Oh, it was so close to. See you later. Not a good Pokemon, I feel, is strong. I guess not a good Pokemon, may require some work. It would be a more accurate way of phrasing it. May require a lot of training to actually get it good moves, would be a better way of putting it, I guess. Hold it there, mister. The toll is $1,000 to go through. thank you, sir. Did they just rob me? I didn't say yes. My gosh. So I guess this is the Lake of Rage here. Yeah, can I like fight them to get my money back? That'd be cool. Hehehe, we're making a bundle. Everyone wants to see what's going on up at the Lake of Rage. Well, you shouldn't be letting me in because I can do something about it. Your greed will be your downfall. Hehehe, we're making a bundle. You shouldn't have given me the opportunity to enter this this area, because now that I can go in here, I will put a stop to whatever you're doing in here. So, ha! Take that! Just watch me. Just watch me put a stop to your whole plot over here. But before I do that, I'm gonna end the episode here. And before I do that, I'm gonna check what's in this grass. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm just gonna leave. I think this is a new route, so I think I can get an encounter here, but I'm gonna get that encounter in the next episode. I'm gonna start off the next episode with that encounter, I guess, because that sounds like a good way to start off an episode. And there's a pearl in here, but I can't carry any more items. So I guess we'll start off the next episode by getting the pearl, and then getting the encounter, and then we'll go up to Lake of Rage, and then we'll do the Lake of Rage stuff, and then we'll probably go back to Price, but probably not all in that episode. So thank you, everyone, so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. What's my outro again? I don't even know. Okay. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, Eevee Clan. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I say again because I messed up the outro. And this is Alex Espion, signing off.